The spotlight drill of the month is the one-handed shooting drill. This is a great drill, one of the best basketball drills you can do, and it's for all ranges of players, from beginners all the way to professional basketball players. I know I've seen pros. Steph Curry actually works out at the field house, and I've seen multiple workouts of his, and he always starts with this drill. And of course, it's great for younger levels of players as well to develop technique, your shooting form, great habits, like holding your follow through and shooting the ball the correct way. And it also increases your range and consistency. This is a great drill to increase your range. As you can see, I'm holding the ball with just my shooting hand and starting in a good stance every time, trying to create consistency. So my feet are doing the same thing every time. My body's doing the same thing. My knees are bent. My shoulders are a little bit forward. I'm not going to give a whole shooting lecture here, but definitely taking it with my strong hand. And as I bend my knees, I'm dipping the ball and lifting it over the rim. I'm extending my elbow every time, snapping my wrist, holding my follow through, really trying to create consistency and great habits within my shot. You can see I'm shooting from the 3-point line here, or a little beyond. And this is within my range. This is a great drill for young players to find out what your range is. If you can't reach the basket and shoot consistently with one hand, then if you shoot from that far, when you really shoot the ball, when you practice your shooting, you're probably using a second hand or twisting your body for power, doing something to generate enough power to get that ball to the rim because you can't reach with one hand. And that is how a lot of young players develop really bad habits, is they shoot from too far out. Everyone wants to shoot threes nowadays, and we have third, fourth, and even fifth graders shooting three-pointers who aren't capable of shooting from that distance with proper technique. So this is a great drill for you to figure out, okay, how far can I shoot with one hand? And that will probably tell you exactly where your range is. Here's a different angle, and you can see my feet are parallel. My shooting foot is slightly in front of my other foot, which we want. If we're right-handed, our right foot's forward. One weakness in my shot is I don't get a lot of arc on my shot. It's a little bit flat. It always has been, but that's something that I've had to work through, and obviously practiced a lot, took a lot of repetitions, and was able to make that work for me, but always figured I would have been a better shooter had I had a little bit better of an arc and a higher release on my shot. But you can see I'm very consistent here. My arm's doing the same thing every time. Good stance, good knee bend, and good extension on my elbow and snap of the wrist. One very important thing to note is that you can see my face from this angle with the camera. The ball's not to the side of my face. It's also not straight on ahead of my face either. It's just off my right eyebrow, and it's out extended. So it's a 90-degree angle on my arm. And you can see that I'm not shooting the ball from the side of my body. I'm lifting it straight up over the rim from that position of my shooting eyebrow. Final view here, a little bit of a straight on. You can see it's not directly in front of my face. I can still see the basket, but it's also not to the side of my head as I was just talking about. And you can see that consistency in my feet and my arm doing the same thing every time. You can see from this angle I have a little air between the ball and my palm, which we want. That increases our spin on the ball, and it enables us to keep our arm in that 90-degree angle position. If it gets flat on your palm, you're probably going to bring your hand back just to hold the ball, and you're going to lose that 90-degree angle. It's going to become a catapult flat shot. So again, the one-handed shooting drill, all of our teams and players are reinforced with this drill constantly at practice and encouraged to do this on their own. There really isn't a better drill you can do in basketball. I know a lot of players get hurt. I know the best thing that happened to me in college was getting injured and not being able to use my left hand for 2 months, and this is the only thing I could do. So for an hour a day, I shot with one hand. And when I came back from that injury, I shot better than I'd ever dreamed of shooting the basketball. So great drill. I encourage you all to implement this into your daily routine. It's something you should be doing every day. If you get to practice early, rather than shoot half-court shots or step-back three-pointers if you're a younger player, this is something you should get to a basket, start close. Every 5 shots, 10 shots, move back a step, and just really develop that technique and those habits with your shooting hand.